Make sure you follow me on social media to get updates and ask me questions. Enjoy the video. To get started with React, we need to have installed Node.js. It doesn't really matter if you're on Mac or Windows, just go on the website, download and then install Node.js. So after the installation is done, then open your terminal and run npm. If you get this outcome, then the installation was done successfully. Now time to start with our first React application. So create a folder whenever you want. I will create mine inside the desktop and I will call this React. So after you create the folder, make sure you open that folder using your favorite IDE or editor. In my case, I will use WebStorm, since this is what I use for JavaScript applications. So inside this React folder, I will create a new file and it will be an HTML file. So I will name this index.html. I will get rid of the HTML here since it is not really needed for this example and I want the code to be as clear as possible. So now we need to include React from a CDN. Inside the documentation of React, we can scroll down and this is where we can find the CDN for React. So I will copy these two scripts. I will go back and paste them. So the latest version of React right now is 15.4.2. So in order to use that version, we have to change our scripts here to .4.2 for both of them. So this is the React script, and this one is the React DOM script. So in order to make use of the DOM, we have to include this script. Otherwise, we cannot really do much. But don't worry, we will use this in just a moment. So except of React and React DOM, we also have to include the Bubble standalone version. So just search for Bubble CDN and you should have it right here. Bubble standalone. So we'll copy the script for this, go back, create a new script and include it like this. So this is what we need to install React. So now we have to take care of the HTML. So I will go up here and I will create a new div. So this div will be used by React to do its work. I have to give this an ID, so I will name this up. And as I said, this is the div that will be used by React. So everything that is related to React will be inside this div. So you will get a better understanding in a minute. So I will create a new script. And this is where we write the first lines of code. So make sure you have the type to text bubble. And for now, because this is the first video, let's display hello world. To do that, I will call React DOM.render. So render will be the function and it accepts two parameters. So the first one will be the HTML. So I want to say hello world. And the other one is the element that we are attaching React. So in our case, we want React to be inside this div. So we can say document.getElementById. If I write this correctly, of course, element by ID, and we can pass the ID, which is up. Of course, if you prefer, you can also use the class name, or you can even use the name. So it doesn't really matter. But in our case, we will use the ID. So everything is set up. I will now just open this file just to see the result. As you can see, it prints hello world, exactly what we have inside this script right here. And we did all that using this code right here. So at first glance, it might look like an overkill. Why have all this code just to display hello world, right? However, React is not made to display hello world. React is made for, better and bigger things. So don't worry about the code that we have here, which is a lot, I know, but we will build amazing applications using React with just a few lines of code. So for now, all you need to know is that React needs a div, or you can call it a container if you want, in order to work inside. So to render something on the screen, you should use React DOM, and this is why we include the React DOM library right here, in order to have access to functions such as render that we are using right here. So render requires the HTML that we want to render and also You have to specify the ID or the name or the class of the div that you are using. And by the way, this can be a p tag if you want. So it doesn't need to be a div. However, div is the best option here, and this is what you need to use most of the times. Now, before I close this video, let me show you one last magic trick. Nothing serious, but just so you know, you have the power to do something like this. 1 plus 2. If I go back to the browser, you can see the result right here. Now remember, this is just the beginning. We can do a lot more with React. You will get a better idea in the next video.